Hello there people, and welcome back. Today in Thailand it's actually a day celebrating Children's Day, and it's a day where the children are kind of pampered and spoiled for a bit, and it's good and everybody seems to enjoy it. This coming Tuesday we have a Teachers' Day where the importance of teachers, good teachers, is recognized and celebrated also. So in Thailand they seem to look at many aspects that celebrate the importance of people as they are. Now, if you've watched my last video, which was titled Pattaya Today, then you may remember that I talked about the failure of many bars over the recent Christmas and New Year, a time when many new bar owners that had invested heavily were hoping that they were going to start seeing some profits. And I believe wholeheartedly that many are now desperate and struggling and totally distraught because it hasn't happened, and Pattaya is going back to its quiet way again. Just last night, actually, I watched a couple of videos about two Australian guys who have landed themselves in serious problems because they thought that they could do well running bars, beer bars here in Pattaya. And for one of them, a guy called Brian, he's now totally destitute. He hasn't got a pot to piss in, as they say, and he's living on the goodwill and charity of other people round about him. I don't know his visa situation, but I think he says he's got nothing back in Australia for him, and he doesn't want to leave Thailand, but he's got nothing here. He's got absolutely nothing. And this is an important part of this video, this story. The other guy, a guy called Greg, not quite as serious as that, but it might be going that way. He was another Australian bar owner that decided that it would be great to own a bar here in Thailand, and opened it up with his lady, and it's all gone a bit sour, and he's now in serious financial problems, he says, and is feeling hugely depressed, and it's a highly concerning aspect to see how he is just right now. And this, once again, is an important part of this video. If you're actually interested in seeing those two videos, then look up a YouTube channel called Aussie in Thailand. That's AUSSIE, Aussie in Thailand, and that's Greg's channel, and both videos are on his channel, so you will see, you can watch these at your own leisure. One of the things that I don't like about when all this happens, is that nobody likes to admit to failure. Nobody does that, and I know that's a human reaction. When it does go wrong, it's normally you can think it's somebody else's fault or some other aspect, not your personal judgment or anything that you've done that's caused that failure. Here in Thailand, 90% of the time, it's women that get the blame. A bar lady, or a bar girl, or a lady that they've met somewhere, and the lady has been incompetent, and maybe she's blamed for being really anti, and for scamming them or stealing money or whatever, and being the tool of their destruction. And I've got to tell you that is actually not the case. Many times the problem comes from that these people who are devoid of business sense and common sense and any ability to run a profitable aspect like a profitable beer bar, then they're their own worst enemies, and they should have done that research before they actually started spending the money. But put a lot of guys into the party atmosphere, where you've got good music, you've got everybody happy, you've got beautiful women all around you. easily accessible and lots of alcohol. Now, a lot of guys kind of lose reality altogether, and this is where the problems really start. And even when those that don't react instantly, when they go back home, they start thinking about what the problem, what they've seen out there, and what they want to do, and start scheming to get it there. Maybe do stupid things like totally sell up everything in their home country and come back with the intent of setting up a business in Pattaya or in Thailand, and it all goes wrong for them. I'm not saying that's the case every time, but for many who are thinking of beer bars, it is a serious situation. However, as I said before, the stories of these two guys is important, and relative to this video, because the video is not about people who own bars and go bust. It's about a particular scam that is happening here in Thailand right now, and it might be actually happening globally right now. I'm told it's globally, and it's serious, and it will attract vulnerable people who are desperate for money, and when they see this, then they might get into even deeper problems than they're in at the moment. And how do I know about this? Well, believe it or not, I've just had several days of them trying to involve me in this particular scam, and obviously as a target to be scammed. And this is the story about that and why it's so dangerous for vulnerable people right now. If you're interested, I'm going to tell my whole story that I've only put a stop to it this actual morning. And if you're interested, then keep watching, because it's interesting. So to start this video, I would like you to see this particular name, and I would like you to remember this name, because this is a name that is highly involved. The name of the organization is Commerce Tools. Please note that this is the head company is reported to be in Germany, but there is no company designation attached to this particular name. There is no common one as in Germany, .gmbh. There is no .limited company. There is no .limited.co.th. So there's no company registration in any way that I've seen. And I've looked on the internet also and checked it as part of the investigation I was trying to get into with this company, and this is the name to remember. So let's move on from there. I would also like to add here that the company, this Commercial Tools in Thailand, has no offices here in Thailand, but they have quite a few people work in support of their effort. But it's all done from a WhatsApp platform with their own individual telephone numbers and nothing to relate it back to a company at all, really. The workers access their working platform through a special website that you've got to have an invitation code to access that website. If they want to cut you from it, as they have done me, because I've blocked the people from contacting me, all they need to do is remove your access code, and if you try to access it, you get this website doesn't exist. So that's how easy it is, and we'll come back to that because that's very pertinent, and we'll come back to that very soon. Already you can see, I'm sure you have possible alarm bells ringing in your head, as I did. But they're very devious people. Let me explain a bit further. So the question is, how did I get involved? And that's a very good question, because I really don't know, and I can't give you an answer. All I know is that on Sunday, the 7th of January, at around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I got a WhatsApp from a lady that said her name was Angelina, and that she worked for a recruiting firm in Bangkok. Alarm one, 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, Bangkok recruitment agency working. Most strange. And I did pick up on that quite quickly, actually. She said that they had a client, a partner client, who was looking to recruit staff quite urgently, and would I be interested? And I said, well, I don't know anything about it. You know, why would I? What is the job about? So then she told me, well, this is what it is. And then she went through that the work that they were offering could be full-time or part-time. Daily, the amount of hours work required each day is 2 to 4 hours. Wow, that's not a very long day. The daily income would be between 4,000 and 7,000 baht paid daily. Full-time work, if you wanted to work at it every day, full-time work you could earn between 90 and 180,000 bahts per month. Wow, 180,000 bahts per month. That is a lot of money to me, anyway. Maybe not to you. The work is from home, ideal. 2 to 4 hours working at home, no problem. The hours are flexible. You can do it when you want. The office hours are between 9 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock at night. You choose your times in between that. Perfect. There's no experience required. Strange. No experience. They give full training. Wow. So what did they require from potential employees? Number one, a Thai bank account so they could pay you. Okay. Number two, a Thai telephone number, mobile number. Yeah, I think most people probably have one of them that live here in Thailand. And you had to be over 20 years of age. Maybe I was going to struggle with that one, huh? Anyway, I said, yeah, that's the only three. She said, yeah, that's the only three. She said, would you be interested? Could she please put my name forward, and she would personally recommend my employment. So I said, well, it doesn't do any harm to find out more. So she said I would be contacted the next morning by a lady from the company involved. Or she didn't say a lady, she said by a person from the company involved. And with that, she bid farewell and gone. So, wow, that was some conversation. There was nothing to dislike about what she said. Everything sounded very, very positive. And you know the old adage, don't you know? If everything sounds too good to be true, maybe it is too good to be true. Now you can see why I'm saying that these guys, these two poor, hapless Australian guys with the videos that I was talking about earlier, if they were getting involved in this and this was being offered to them, how attractive would it sound to them? Manana from heaven, the answer to all their problems. They're going to walk straight into the arms of these people, along with many other hapless expats here in Thailand. So these people know who they're aiming at and what they're doing. How they got my number? Because to get me on WhatsApp, they have to have my telephone number. They've got it somehow. I don't know how. I don't know, and I can't even speculate how. But they've obviously got ways of finding these sort of things out, and that's that. So that was how I got involved initially. Well, when I give it up as a consideration, and as I say, is it too good to be true? And it probably is. I thought about it a lot, you know, and I thought, oh, no, I don't want to get involved in anything. I could already smell a rat about it all, and it wasn't good to me to be thinking about that. And I decided that evening that if they did contact me the next day, which I didn't think they really were going to, I was going to say, look, I'm not really interested in the job. Thank you very much. Good luck, blah, blah, blah. So that was the initial contact. I'll now go on to tell you about the next day. You just won't believe how this developed. So before I get into the rest of this video, I would just like to explain that there's actually two websites that are relevant to what I'm telling you. The first one is commercialtools.com, which relates to some organization in Germany that I was talking about previously, that there's no limited company. And if you look on there, I've been trying to work out about what their business method is, etc. And nothing of that seems to make much sense to me. But there is a possibility that they are genuine, or it might be that they are supporting operations that are going on, like here in Thailand, on a global aspect. Could be. You make up your mind. The second website is very cleverly hidden. It's commerce tools with a T at the end, commercetoolst.com. Now that takes you through to the site that all this carry on is happening in, and is a site that when they've got people like me, or people that are wanting to that are interested in employment, or people that they're maybe going to really scam, that's the site that they take them to. And that site you cannot access unless you've been invited to, and there's a code to let you go in afterwards by yourself. So that's one of the aspects I don't like. You know, I've blocked them contacting me anymore on WhatsApp, and they have actually removed the access for me to go onto these to go onto their site. In addition, I actually had a message from the lady that I'm going to talk about now. If it is a lady, I doubt it might not be. There's nothing to define that she is definitely a lady. But I had a message from her saying more or less, whatever you're going to do, be careful, because I wouldn't like it to hurt you. I think they're worried about, after all the things I've said to them about what I believe, they're worried that I might actually, because I told them I was going to go and see a lawyer, they might be worried that I'm actually going to do that or to go to the police. But I'm going to put this on YouTube first, and then if you think I should take it to the police, then please put it in the comments, and I will really, really consider it. It's just that I don't want to put myself and family at any risk, but once the whole thing is exposed, then it's exposed, and they've just got to move on to some other aspect. Anyway, let's start getting into this story. So the second day I was contacted about 9:30, just after 9:30 in the morning, by a lady who called herself Haley. As I say, I don't know exactly who Haley is. I'm told that she told me she's a lady, and she sent me some sexy pictures also of her, just to verify that she's a woman. But she was very reluctant to actually speak on video, so make up your own mind. But she contacted me just after 9:30 the following morning, and that's when the whole thing came into operation and started in what I would say is a well-rehearsed script, where they're trying to not let you think too much, but drive you forward down their way so they can impress you and wash your mind of things that they might not want you to think about. So that was a start. You know, they do everything in WhatsApp. They speak to you. You can join their community page, or you can contact their customer support aspects. Also, are all on WhatsApp, and in a way, that's been quite fortunate for me because I've managed to get an absolute accurate record of all the communications that I had during that time. So after her giving me the introduction that morning, she said that she wanted to ask me a few questions to verify if I was suitable for the job, but I'd already made up my mind that I didn't really want the job and I didn't want to go through questions. And I just says to her, look, I said, I've answered questions to your lady yesterday. I just want to know now what the job actually entails, and that to let me make a decision if I want to do this job or not. Well, she wasn't particularly phased out about my answer. She just went straight into, okay, I'll tell you about the job. Her basic statement that the job was to assist merchants on the Commerce Tools site to optimize and assist their product data. Whew, straight over my head. Not a clue. Anyway, I continued to listen. She then gave me another lot of gobbledygook about how successful we were and how people had done very, very well, and she had big teams all over the world contacting her, etc. Yet everything was with Thai telephone numbers. Now, there is no way she's handling a global team on WhatsApp with everybody on the community page that I was invited to join. Everybody on there is in Thailand, so I don't think she's on a global aspect at all. But I think it's quite possible that this scam is happening on a global aspect for sure. Anyway, after all the gobbledygook, I did say to her, I said, oh look, I said, thank you for explaining this all to me. I said, it's not really of any interest to me, and I don't want to waste her time or my time, so I'm going to decline further. And she said, wait. She went into a little bit of a panic actually. She says, please don't decline this too quickly. She says she knows a lot of people similar to me that's made a lot of money. She's got a friend similar to me who's just bought himself a new top-of-the-range car with the money that he's making online working with them. So, yeah, little carrots there just to keep your interest going, if you understand what I mean. She then proposed that we actually start a training period to give me a better idea what it's all about, and then it would make my decisions easier. So as I had spare time that day and she was willing to start it right away, I said, okay, let's talk about it further. But before that conversation melted away and we started the training, I asked one very, very pertinent question as far as I was concerned, and sadly I missed one very, very pertinent part of her answer that was also very, very important. The question I asked her is, do I have to invest any money into this at all? Her answer, no. The training is getting taken out of the training allowance, and that'll sort everything out. So not to worry about anything like that. Okay. What did I miss? I missed this is just for the training allowance. The answer was not a straightforward no, you don't need to invest money. It was no, whilst you're training, the training allowance will come out of her, the money will come out of her training allowance. That was a very pertinent part that I clicked afterwards, but not at the time. So let's talk about the training now. So the training was split into two parts. I was told that every person had to handle 90 products in a working day. If they came to work on that day, they had to do 90 products. And these were split into 2 sections of 45 products, which, okay, that was explained, and I didn't really fully understand what you're talking about, but okay, that sounded reasonable. So she suggested for the beginning of the training that we would work on her account, and this would be very beneficial because I would get a good return for that day from her commission on her account, because she was on a higher commission as a long-time employee, etc. And the commission earned during the training she would give to me. That sounded very nice of her. So she started by setting me up an account with my account number. This was all internal numbers, etc., within their organization. And then she gave me access to her account, and that took us into a website that was broken into sections. At the top of it was a very basic web page, actually. At the top of the page there was 2 boxes containing cash amounts, and the one on the left hand side of the box was today's commission earned, and then as we entered the day for the training, that was all at 0. And then on the right hand side there was current account balance, and that was showing an account balance of around about 112,000 baht. So there was a fair bit of money in that account. So she then went through the other parts of the page, and I'll just go through the relevant parts. There's 2 buttons on this page. One at the top saying starting, and if you press that starting button, a product sprung up on the page with its cost, price, etc., and some small data, description, etc. And then when that came up on the page, you then had to press submit. And when you press submit, you got another screen that came up, said transaction successful, 1 of 45. So she then explained, okay, that's all it's to it, pressing these 2 buttons, start and then submit. Piece of cake. A monkey could be taught to do this, you know? So I thought, anyway, they didn't need anything special, anybody special with particular knowledge to do that, and I could see that. So she then asked me to carry on by working by myself to do the other 44 products of that particular task. So I did. Press starting, product came up, press submit, success came up, and then move on to the next one. And each time the number remaining went down. And this went on very well till somewhere in the last sort of 4 or 5 products. I pressed the starting button, some product came up. I wasn't even taking any notice of the products, actually. I was just waiting for it to come up, and then I would press the submit button right away. I wasn't reading anything on the page. And I pressed the submit button, then I got a unsuccessful. Product submission unsuccessful, insufficient funds in the account. Please recharge the account. So I said, okay, what do we do now? She said, don't worry about it, that's easy. She said, I'll just contact customer services and ask them to make sure that to deposit funds into this account to bring it back into a positive aspect. Okay. So after about 2 minutes of her talking, being away somewhere talking to the account suddenly went to a positive amount, quite a high amount again. And she said, okay, we can carry on. So there was only another few to do, and we completed the whole thing. And at the end of those 45 products, I had made just over, it was 2,550 baht. That's what I'd got commission from those 45 products. I wasn't unimpressed with that, actually. I know it's not a huge amount, but it's considering Thais are working for just a 300 or 400 baht a day, then hey, 2,500 baht it seemed okay for just a few minutes work. Anyway, we then went on and we set up an account for my bank within the organisation. And then she said to, right, before we go any further, and to clear my account, can you please withdraw that commission into your bank? So, you sure? Yeah, no problem. She says it shows you've done that. Take it out. So I withdrew that 2,550 baht into my account. Very happy. She said, okay, now we're going to switch back to your new account, and the interest that you gain on products will be much lower because you're just starting it. So it's not even 1%, it's about 0.65% or something like that. Minimal. She said, but you've got to start somewhere. So we'll switch back to your account now, log into your account, and then you can do the second part of the day's task. Okay, I thought, that's fine, I'll give it a try. So we've done that. I logged into my account. I went to press the starting thing, and I pressed it starting. Nothing happened. It came up, please charge your account. Oh, so I looked at the balance of my account, which was zero. I said, okay. I said, what happens here? Do I have to ask customer services to put money in there? She said, no, you contact customer services and you deposit 3,000 baht. The minimum, that's what you've got. The minimum you've got to deposit, and you put that into your account, and then you'll be able to start this second task. So obviously, as you might imagine, that annoyed me a little bit, and I thought about it for a few moments. I thought, well, I've just got 2,550 baht, so I'm outlaying 450 baht. And if I lose that, then fine, it's a lesson. So I put this 3,000 baht into to charge the account, and then started working away, no problems at all through the 45. It didn't even take me 5 minutes actually. It took me, I'd say 3 to 4 minutes to do the whole lot. Finished, but this time my commission was about 380 bahts or something like that. So when I finished, I told her, okay, I've completed that. She said, all right, withdraw, empty your account. Well, when I withdrew it, I withdrew my 3,000 baht that I had deposited, and this 380 baht that I'd made in commission, took it out. So my account was all clear. I'd got my commission and I got my money back. So it wasn't too bad after all. So she said, okay, a few more questions or things, and talking about, okay, she said, well, we'll start again tomorrow, and we'll do it again just to make sure you're fully knowledgeable about what's got to be done. But at the back of my mind, I was worried. This so-called lucky product, that's what I'd done. I asked her, I said, okay, if I'd had that lucky product, where you had to put in a lot of money, what would I have to do? She said, well, if you work in your account, you would have to charge it up to make it back to positive. I said, the amounts I've seen, the amounts like today and things, that can be a lot of money. She said, yeah, but if you've worked for a few weeks, she said, you've got that sort of cash lying around and you'll be able to do it. I thought, that doesn't sound right for a start. And she says, and it's only momentarily, she says, because as soon as you've finished your transactions that day, you can withdraw it and take it all back again. So it's minimal. I said, then why make me put it in? Why doesn't the company put it in? She says, it's just the done practice that the account holder's got to do it. I said, well, I've got 3,000 baht in there, and then they might ask me for, let's say 60,000 baht to clear a negative amount in this lucky number. It's a lot of money to put in. She says, no, she says, the amount will never be more than 2.5 times your total balance that's in your account. It wasn't ringing true with me, and it's obvious. I discovered, as far as I was concerned anyway, I discovered what the scam was. This was a scam. This lucky number that you could come across. She invited me, as I said earlier, she invited me to join her communal WhatsApp page with lots of people on there. They supposedly work with this Haley, and they're all on there talking about food and cooking and the rest of it. Some of them are saying, "Oh, I had 2 lucky numbers today. One I had to put in a negative amount. I had to put in, what was it, 61,000 or something like that, and the other one was 70,000. It was over $1 million baht anyway." And then there was 2 or 3 others that were saying, "Yeah, we had one that was 65,000 baht, one at 54,000 baht, and there was another one about 40-something thousand baht." And they're all saying, "Oh, we're lucky to get that. That's boosted my commission for the day, etc." I think these people are all working together, and there might be 1, 2, or 3 on that community page that are there to be scammed, like me, like I was at that time, listening to all these people talking about how lucky they were and the rest of it. I'm just thinking, what the fuck? Where did they get the money to put into this? Because I'm not rich, but I'm not poor, and I certainly don't keep. It would be easy for me to just go into the bank and transfer out 600, 700, 800,000. I'd have to move funds around, etc., to do it. And you know, all the questions that this lady was asking me all the time, she was trying to ascertain. I can see now, looking back over the WhatsApp sheet, that she was trying to ascertain what sort of value was in me. What did I do previously? I was an engineer. I got a pension from the Navy. I got a state pension. All these questions she knew, and I was being a little bit foolish as well, because some of the things I was telling her that I shouldn't be telling her. You know, why should what I earn as a pension interest anybody? And then, what hobbies do you have? I've been teaching English. Or do you get paid for teaching English and things like that? And I think they were assessing where they're going to aim this lucky number at. 600, 500, 600, 700, whatever their thousands I'm talking about, by the way, wherever they're going to aim at for the big hit. And the day that you do it, that you get, "Oh, I think that this looks a good commission. It's a 40,000 baht commission, but I've got to put in 800,000 baht or something to get this order." And the other thing is, if you don't do it, then your whole day is cancelled. You're not allowed to you're not allowed not to submit it. She said it's got to be sorted. And I said, "Well, what if people just physically cannot do it?" She said, "Well, if I know the people," she said, "I might try and help them." Then it's gone on the guard. You see, I might try and help them, and but she might not try and help them. And I just thought, no, this is the lucky number scam, and I think I've said enough now, and you can make your own judgment if you think it was a legit thing, or if you think I'm right in that people should be aware of it. And if you do think people should be aware of it, please pass this round. Let people know what I've just discussed with you, because there will be people. There's a lot of, as we talked about at the beginning of it, there's a lot of there's a large amount of people out there that are very exposed to this type of scam if they get hit by it. And these people will be looking for anybody that they're going to get money out of. Please make comments and tell me what you think, and thank you for watching. Take care.